First-year students gathered in the assembly hall as instructed. They chatted among themselves, puzzled by the absence of any teachers and the presence of only second-year students. Second-year students wore different uniforms, so Quinn knew which students were his peers. Mono waited for the chatter to stop.
Have all the students arrived yet?
One of Mono's lieutenants nodded.
Yes. Everyone from Dell's class and the weapons combat class should be here.
Mono grinned.
Well, it's time to show everyone what happens when you don't follow the rules.
Mono tugged a string, yanking the curtains open. Behind the curtain stood a badly beaten Vorden, bound to a large log. His hands sat locked in wooden slots. Vorden's legs were wired together by an ability user Quinn couldn't see. Vorden remained upright, held in place for all to witness. Several second-year students rolled in carts. The carts were filled with large black stones and jagged rocks. Mono picked one up and held it up for everyone to see.
This here is a metal ball. It has been embedded with the power of a beast. When humans learned to harness the power of beasts, it changed the course of the war. What they don't teach first years is that you need an ability to activate a beast weapon. A beast weapon's real strength only appears when this happens. The stronger the beast weapon, the stronger the outcome.
Quinn stared at the beaten Vorden, unable to believe how casually Mono spoke. The second year carried himself like a proper teacher giving a lecture. Mono lifted the rock higher.
Using these rocks, we will teach you how to activate beast weapons. The second years of this school would like to give you all a shortcut to success.
A first-year student raised his hand.
Excuse me? Did the teachers know about this?
Silence fell. Even the first years knew this operation ran behind the staff's backs. A second year broke away from his group, marching over to the student who asked the question. Without hesitation, the second year punched the first year right in the face. The second year kept hitting the student. The younger student begged for mercy, but it was no use. The second year kept at it until the other boy passed out. Mono waited until the beating was finished, his smile unwavering.
Are there any more questions?
The first year stood silently, petrified in place. No one wanted to speak out of turn. They knew exactly what would happen if they did. Mono pointed at the rock in his hand.
Great. Now, these rocks aren't useful for real combat, but they're great for practicing. You hold it and activate it the same way you would with your ability. Let me show you how it's done.
Mono concentrated on the stone in his hand. The black stone turned green. Mono waved his hand like it was a magic trick.
Of course, your weapons won't change color when activated. The stones only do that because they're meant for training purposes. However, they still hold more strength in them than they would otherwise. Now that we've covered theory, it's time for practical application of this skill. Let's start with target practice.
The second years threw Vorden to the ground. They moved him to stand in front of the log. Vorden was the target. Mono knocked on the log behind Vorden.
This log is made of special material. Not even a bullet could penetrate it. Only a beast weapon could. That's where you're supposed to hit.
The first years panicked, talking amongst themselves.
Is this really allowed? Idiot. Do you really want to go up against the second years? They want us to hit that Vorden guy. Let's just get it over with. Won't we get in trouble for doing something like this? The teachers don't care when we knock each other out. Why would they care about something like this? The second years are doing this because they know they can get away with it.
Mono looked around the crowd. Self-satisfaction crossed his face when he locked eyes with Quinn.
Right. I should give you some context. This first year up here thought he could go against the second years. He came after us one at a time, thinking we wouldn't retaliate. Well, he was wrong. We beat him in this very hall not long ago, but he still didn't learn his lesson. So, I decided this was a lesson you all should learn. This is what happens when you go against the hierarchy of this school.
Second years dumped the crates of beast stones. The stones scattered across the floor. They had more than enough for every student to take a shot at Vorden. A second year stepped forward.
Who wants to go first? If no one volunteers, I'll pick someone.
No one volunteered. Even the cruelest students wouldn't go this far. People were cruel to one another in order to survive. That was how the world worked. Everyone wanted to rise up in the ranks of society, even if it meant pushing others down. But this was different. There was no benefit in harming Vorden. He was already beaten. The second years weren't doing this because they had to. They were doing it for fun. The second year looked around for volunteers, seeing none.
All right then. Be that way. You, girl with the brown hair. You go first.
The second year placed a beast stone in her hand. She held it for a moment, quivering.
I can't.
Mono pouted, disappointed.
Really? You can't? Well, then we have no choice.
Two second-year students grabbed the girl by her arms. She struggled to break free, trying to use her ability. She looked around, seeing if anyone would help her. No one met her gaze. Mono picked up a beast stone, turning it green.
I don't think you first years understand yet. When we tell you to do something, you do it.
Mono threw the beast stone. It hit the girl in the stomach. She puked, falling to her knees. Mono sighed, bored.
Get her out of here. Next. Who is up?
A boy stepped forward. He had an ability level of 2.5. As soon as he held the stone, it glowed green. Unlike the girl, he didn't hesitate. The boy threw the stone hard. It hit Vorden straight in the stomach. Vorden coughed up blood. Mono grinned, clapping his hands.
You see that? That's what I call a throw.
At the back of the room, Layla and Quinn stood in silence. Layla, despite her grudges against Vorden, knew this had gone too far.
Bastards. How could they do something like this? Quinn, call Leo. I don't know about the other teachers, but Leo would put a stop to this.
Layla turned, but Quinn was already gone. Quinn raised his hand, moving through the crowd.
Pick me. Let me try.
Layla's mouth hung open.
What is that crazy boy thinking?
Subscribe now and start watching free episodes of the #1 fantasy show in this YouTube playlist. For the full story, click the link in the description, download the Pocket FM app, and watch all episodes of My Vampire System.